In 1973, Asuna Watase is a youthful grade school young lady who has been compelled to grow up rapidly since her dad had passed on, while her mom, a medical caretaker, works long moves at an emergency clinic. Asuna goes through her singular days paying attention to the puzzling music radiating from the feline's hair collector her dad provided for her as a keepsake, joined by pet feline Mimi, who bears peculiar red markings on her fur. At some point, while strolling to her clubhouse across an extension, she is gone after by a fearsome animal and saved by a baffling teen kid who calls himself Disregard. Asuna treats Disregard's injury from battling the animal, and later the two of them pay attention to Asuna's radio. Disregard tells Asuna he is from one more nation called Agartha and that he arrived at this spot to track down something. He then, at that point, gives Asuna a gift as a kiss to the brow. Asuna leaves briskly and tells Avoid she'll be back tomorrow. Evade, presently alone, gazes toward the stars and tumbles from the edge to his demise. The following morning, Asuna hears from her mom that a kid was tracked down dead in the stream, yet won't trust its Disregard. In school, Mr. Morisaki, a substitute educator, is giving a talk on a book which catches Asuna's eye when he makes reference to Agartha, the place that is known for the dead. After school, she visits Morisaki and gets some information about Agartha. Morisaki makes sense of that quite a while in the past when mankind was youthful, it required the direction of Quetzalcoatls, managers of the dead, until people developed and at this point not required them. They went underground alongside a couple of people who went along with them. A while later, Asuna goes to her refuge to find another puzzling kid who looks like Disregard remaining on the edge. All of a sudden, a gathering of outfitted men called the Lead Celestial Hosts show up and assault the two of them. The puzzling kid conceals in the underground entry with Asuna, and the two continue further into the cavern when the cavern's entry is bombarded. The two meet a Quetzalcoatl who has clearly lost its actual faculties and assaults the kid. He won't kill the Guardian, giving Asuna his clavis, a precious stone, and retaliates. The Lead Celestial Hosts meddle, killing the Guardian. The Lead Celestial Host officer catches Asuna and utilizes the clavis to open a door to Agartha. The leader and Asuna enter the door followed by the kid. When inside, the commandant uncovers himself to be Morisaki and the kid additionally uncovers himself to be Shin, Evade's more youthful sibling. Morisaki lets Shin know that all he needs is to bring back his late spouse from the dead. Shin leaves Asuna and Morisaki. Morisaki lets Asuna know that she can return however she chooses to go with him. The two of them go into the domain by means of a submerged entry. When inside, they excursion to the Door of Life and Passing, which can bring the spirits of individuals resurrected, alongside Mimi. After showing up in his town, Shin is advised he bombed his main goal to recover the clavis, in light of the fact that Asuna has unconsciously gotten back with a section of one. Shin resets out to prevent Asuna and Morisaki from unleashing ruin in Agartha. En route, Asuna is grabbed by a race of beasts called the Izoku. She stirs in a shut region and meets a little kid named Sustenance. The two of them attempt to get away however can't. The day starts to obscure and the Izoku start to show up, however they can move in the shadows. In their departure endeavor they experience Shin, who helps them yet is injured by an Izoku during the break. Morisaki tracks down Asuna and Nourishment down the stream as well as Shin with the assistance of Mimi.
Shin attempts to recover the clavis precious stone piece that has a place with Asuna. Be that as it may, he is too feeble to even consider setting up a battle, and Murasaki effectively overcomes him. Asuna persuades Murasaki to take him with them while Nourishment drives them to her town. When there, the residents are at first hesitant to help the top occupants, yet the town senior persuades the gatekeepers to give them access. The senior permits them to remain one night at the town, since they have brought sustenance back. However, they can't remain more than that because of previous history, in that top occupants continuously carry misfortune to Agartha. In the meantime, Asuna determines the status of Shin, yet he shouts at her to let him be. The following morning, Asuna and Murasaki withdraw from Amorat by boat. However, Mimi no longer needs to go with them. Shin gets up later and finds that Mimi has passed Shin sustenance, and the senior continue to offer Mimi's carcass to the Quetzalcoatl. At the point when Shin sees the locals riding away to kill them, he chooses to follow to safeguard Asuna. Murasaki and Asuna are strolling towards a lofty bluff when they are gone after by the residents, yet they are saved by Shin. Asuna attempts to descend, however is excessively frightened, while Murasaki progresses forward, subsequent to exchanging his weapon for her clavis shard, and advising her to return to the surface. In the interim, Shin is battling the residents, and is going to be killed when the locals sense that the clavis precious stone has arrived at the door of life and demise. They pass on Shin to allow him to meander erratically, having double-crossed his country. Asuna, adhering to Murasaki's directions to remain in the water during evening on account of the Izaku, strolls capriciously and wonders why she came to Agartha. She at last acknowledges that she came to Agartha on the grounds that she was feeling forlorn. At the point when the water evaporates, she is gone after by the Izaku, however is saved by Shin once more. The two revisitation of the bluff subsequent to seeing the arc of life slipping. They experience a Quetzalcoatl who is going to bite the dust. Before he kicks the bucket, the Quetzalcoatl sings its melody to send every one of its recollections into the world. Asuna presently comprehends that the last tune she heard in her reality was Evade's melody, before he was to bite the dust. The Quetzalcoatl offers to take them to the lower part of the precipice. At the lower part of the bluff, the two of them track down the door of life and passing and enter it. Murasaki has previously made a wish for his late spouse Lisa to return. In any case, her spirit requires a vessel. Asuna and Shin find Murasaki, who tells Asuna she shouldn't have come. She is before long moved by the spirit of Murasaki's better half. Be that as it may, this cost is lacking. Murasaki likewise pays with the deficiency of an eye. To fix Asuna's ownership, Shin obliterates the clavis gem, in spite of Murasaki having a blade to his throat. Breaking the clavis takes Asuna's spirit back to her body, after she has had a short gathering with Mimi and Evade. Before Lisa leaves Asuna's body, she advises Murasaki to track down Bliss without her. Asuna is currently back to her typical self. However, Murasaki is crushed and requests that Shin kill him. Shin lets him know that worrying about the concern of a departed cherished one is humankind's revile, advising Murasaki to live on. Asuna goes to the surface and is seen making her goodbye to Shin and Murasaki, who decided to remain behind. The film closes with a more seasoned Asuna glancing through her window at the bluff side where she had met Evade and Shin.